Hello everyone, Savvy here. I have just recently finished playing the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy, and I'm going to be making an alignment chart for you guys. So we have disaster, functional, and distinguished over here. We have straight, bisexual, gay or lesbian, and asexual over here, and I'm going to be categorizing all of the characters from the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy into these categories. So starting off with our man Phoenix Wright himself, this man is probably the clearest example of a bisexual disaster that I have ever seen in my life, outside of probably myself. So I am going to categorize him right there, and that is probably why I love him so much. So that is Phoenix Wright. Next up we have Miles Edgeworth, the Prosecutor, and I believe that he is a good example of a classy, distinguished gay. And I've noticed that the distinguished gays and bisexual disasters often end up together. I'm mainly basing that on this game and on Splatoon with Pearl and Marina. So I would say that that Edgeworth is very clearly a distinguished gay, especially with his choice of neckwear. I believe that. Next up we've got Maya. Maya was a little more difficult to decide, but I ended up thinking that Maya was also a bisexual disaster along with Phoenix. I think that's one of the reasons they connect so well. And I feel like Maya definitely, in that one circus case in the second game, she definitely is flirting a little bit with Regina, the ringmaster's daughter, so I think that Maya is a bisexual disaster as well. And I think that's part of what makes her and Phoenix work so well together. Next we've got Godot. Godot was difficult, so I'm not going to give away any spoilers on Godot, but I think he's pretty firmly a functional straight. He's definitely not distinguished. Like, there's parts of him that come off as distinguished, but he's also has a little bit of disaster to him, so I think he falls firmly in the functional category, and I would call him a functional straight, so I think that's the right choice for him. And we've got Mia. I love Mia. Mia's probably my favorite character in this game. And I would actually say that Mia is a distinguished bisexual. Originally, I was like, maybe she's straight because of her and Diego's past. However, she also very clearly had a thing with Lana Skye, if you remember. If you played the Rise from the Ashes case, the 5th one in the first game, it's pretty clear that she and Lana had something going on. Speaking of Lana, here she is. Lana is a distinguished lesbian. She and Edgeworth go together in the classy gay category, and I think that's just like, that must just be a Chief Prosecutor thing. Chief Prosecutors are always classy gays, at least so far. Maybe in future games that won't be true. I don't know. But I think it works. Lana was definitely doing that. Alright, so Larry is probably the greatest disaster straight of all time. I have never seen a clearer example of a straight disaster in my life than Larry. So Larry goes there. I only wish that I didn't have to fit Gumshoe in the same category so that Larry could take up more of the whole box. And then we've got Maggie, who is also a disaster straight, and that's why she and Gumshoe are so cute together, because they're both the biggest straight disasters of all time. Damon Gant is a distinguished straight. I considered making other categories for Gant and Von Karma. That was a really fucking extra category. Francisca is a distinguished asexual. I am pretty sure on that. Dahlia Hawthorne. Yeah, see, she's distinguished, but is she distinguished or a disaster? I can't tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell with this game, because everybody's classy and a disaster at the same time, so I struggled with a few people. So Pearl was also difficult because in the first couple games she's so young. Adrian Andrews is probably the greatest example of a functional lesbian of all time. And then Will Powers is, he's functional. Matt on Guard is probably a disaster or functional, along with Max Galactica. I'd say they're in between the functional and disaster categories. So, Wendy Oldbag, I would say, is a disaster straight as well, especially the way she hits on Edgeworth. It's real creepy, but she's just like a complete disaster of a human. If there's just like a disaster category, that's where Oldbag would go. Emma Skye, I think, is a functional straight. I wasn't sure on her. And then Ron Delight or Mask Damask, I would consider him a functional bi. And then Luke Atme, disaster gay. Desiree Delight, I wasn't sure on her either. I just love her. She's so cute. But I put her up there in the distinguished straight category. So this is the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Original Trilogy alignment chart. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you agree with this. I probably forgot a couple of characters because there's so many characters in this game, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. In the meantime, don't forget to support small businesses, and I will see y'all next week. Bye!